a better experience with technology. Are we going to solve the world's problems? No. We all have choices, but in reality, in the technology world, we don't. You're either on Apple or you're on Google, period. And those two choices are centralized choices. And the Clear phone is different from every other thing you've ever touched or smelled or talked to or grew or didn't grow with. It's different because it's not Apple and it's not Google. Yes, it's built on top of Android. ClearOS Mobile is absolutely built on top of Android. However, it doesn't tie back to Google in any form, fashion, period. These phones will compete with any of the manufacturers that are out there in the world today, whether you're talking about LG, Samsung, Lenovo, any of the different derivatives, or even the Nexus Google phones, and then the Apple phones as well. When you look at it, the cameras, the screens, the batteries,
incredible camera,
and the value of them, you just won't see out there in the world. For instance, the 220, this guy, and by the way, these are the actual sizes. So if we kind of pull them up here, no, you're fine, I'll just pull them up. So these are the actual sizes of the phones. This one's, the 220 is built really for an affordable phone for the masses. So $50 a month or $449 purchase price. And then you've got the 420, which is really the power horse and probably the most generally standard phone in the world, or at least for the Clear phones. And this phone is $100 a month, and it comes with self-service and some health services, which we'll talk a little bit more about in the future. But the reality is this technology for all Clear phones has unique scanners, unique logins, so they all basically have fingerprints and bios that all tie to a new technology called Clear ID, which will then enable you to have your data, which is a different conversation. And then from my personal favorite is the 620.
Yes.
It's literally the largest phone in the world today. What are we at? Christmas Eve on 2020. What a piece of junk year, huh? But the reality is, who knows what the future holds? I see we got conflict one way or the other, but just like that, you see that? You just smile through it. You know, you're going to have difficult times ahead of us, but I believe if we all unite together, we can actually get through the turmoil that's coming. I think in 2020 is just the start of it. But go ahead.
I think the 2020 got us prepared for 2021. Mm-hmm. I mean, for example, one guy sent me a few little videos on WhatsApp, and a guy that, he's not a great big marketer or anything like that. People say, I don't join anyone except for big marketers. But the message was so good that I saw. I said, I can't talk to you. Get whoever owns this company on the phone, and then I'll fly out there immediately. A couple days before Christmas in Cold Town, Utah. I didn't go to Miami or to warm.
I straight up told him, don't you come out here. I didn't even talk to him. I was like, we don't got time for a meeting. Do it next year. He's like, he's already in the plane. He's coming.
Exactly. I'm on the way there. And because I was excited, because I'm going to tell you the truth. For the last few months, I've been wanting to find something that was more private, because I'm in the crypto world. And I was hacked last year in my phone, $80,000 gone, couldn't get it back, and I was just praying for something more private. And all the other private phones out there really weren't that private, you know what I mean? I said, I'm going and check this out. It was very clean, very, very smooth. I said, these guys can't be this good. Well, they do live in Mormon country, so maybe they are. So let me just fly out there and check it out. So here we have Michael, and my main man Scott is holding the camera behind you. Scott Stansfield, he's the man, he's the myth, he's the legend. He got it going on. He's our upline. Thank God for him, But the next thing I want to ask Michael for you guys is, let's talk about the opportunity a little bit. This is below ground floor, isn't it? I mean, we're on the cutting edge. You guys
technically below ground floor. Now he's actually 9 circles away. So Scott's here.
Right.
He's 9 circles away. So the word's traveling fast. But the bottom line is, we're still in infant days. We talk about the Clear phones and really the technology behind Clear getting rolled out in 3 different phases. But we're barely just launching the first phase. As a matter of fact, February is the first time where we'll come out with all of it. And there's going to be some real people that will actually not just substantiate, but validate. And some of them, even the people that introduced Scott, they've known about what we've been doing for many years. We got 10 years into the server backend for storage. We got over 10 years in the whole Bitcoin world, which really all it is a decentralized application. So you can actually have a database that can run on multiple different systems and do different things. It's not complicated what Bitcoin or any of these decentralized or what they call crypto apps basically do. But the opportunity here is, one, we're meshing up decentralized storage, which took 10 years, a decentralized phone with identity, which has taken 2 years, and in the middle of it, a technology called ClearGM, which has taken 5 years to build, which takes the whole of the internet, all URLs, IP addresses, everything, ports, everything, stops all of it, blocks it, and then allows only where you want to go in real time. So the first time you light up ClearWeb, which is the browser that this thing comes pre-installed with, ClearGM will basically start profiling where you want to go and what you do. And I would argue, you and I live in different worlds, but I would say 80% of the sites we go to are actually the same. For real.
That's about right.
You know, maybe there's 20% that's a nuance that's unique, but this artificial intelligence and machine learning technology behind ClearGM literally takes that 10 years of storage and 2 years of phone and stitches this all together in such a way where mankind can actually start owning their own identity. But you got to stop the noise. You got to stop the profiling, the marketing, the rebranding, the remarketing, the ads, the advertisements, and
retargeting.
And literally, when you look at it, you're talking like 20 to 30% of your bandwidth is actually in that remarketing.
Targeting, yeah.
So I guess the net is there's a lot of features and functions to this phone that makes it different. But ultimately, the opportunity to be able to tell people about it, and then to be able to get paid in a new type of real world cryptography proven. Again, I'll say Bitcoin was a litmus test from my perspective. It's a very solid, safe storage environment for savings. But is it something for checking? Can you actually transact with it? Can you actually live on it? Can you actually earn it in real time by just telling friends? Can you convert into any asset? Does the real world actually access this? Again, we've been involved in Bitcoin for well over a decade, and not a lot of people figured out how to get into it.
You have?
Well, yeah. So I guess...
And now we have.
Yeah, exactly. This is not about a you or a me or an I. This is about
us.
Yes.
You know, let me tell you something that's very important. And I'm gonna put you on the spot for a second, but you're gonna like it, okay? So we were talking the other day. And I said, so what about this whole idea thing you got going on? He said, Rodney, I got money. This is not about money. This is about us now. It's about united, bringing something back to the people and bringing us together. He said it's not about the money. I mean, but I'm sure it's some money involved here, but he has a self that is putting himself out there in every phone of what he's been working on for over the last 10 years. Over 200 million behind this or in front of this, 10 years of experience. And from what I've heard from Scott, this guy puts the G in genius. You know, he's very, very nonchalant.
It's not about an individual.
It starts somewhere. There is I in team. I've seen it. I forgot to show you guys that.
But there's a team that's around this that are beautiful people. We built a business prior to this, started in 2000, and grew to all 50 states, 29 countries, and we couldn't do it without the people then, and we can't do it without the people now, period. And it just so happens that we chose to actually drive the marketing and pay 40% of every single dollar to people like you if you pay attention. All you have to do is tell other people about it. And not only are you going to be able to get value and money in your world, but you can actually get paid in clear. And when you get paid in clear, there may be some value in the future. And you guys that are already been in the cryptography-based world, you know and understand we can't say speculate and it's going to go up. That's not what we're saying. What we are saying is you will be able to operate your life on this. You will be able to not just use it as a normal cell phone with contacts, calendar, apps, anything you want to do that you're already doing with Google and Apple, but you'll actually own your own data. And when you start owning your own data, you're going to own your own privacy, and you may actually be able to monetize that in a couple different ways. One is telling people about it. Then you get a card. And maybe, just maybe, you start figuring out how to log into websites. Instead of using username and passwords, you log in by just touching when you want to log in. Maybe it's an application that tells you to touch. Maybe it's an app on your phone that tells you to touch. But you become your authentication, your face, your finger, your phone, and something that's asked at a certain time. So it's 4-factor authentication, whereas some of the highest systems today are 2-factor authentication with somebody else owning the encryption keys. The bottom line is you get the data and the privacy back to the user, and then there's a whole nother ecosystem.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're really talking about decentralized systems.
For real.
And it's not just decentralized currency like what Bitcoin is all about, or all the other different alt tokens. It's about decentralized systems, decentralized identity, decentralized banking, decentralized loans, decentralized reputation, decentralized content. Imagine if you can create content on a decentralized platform like Facebook, but you can actually create content and get paid for it. Or maybe people get paid with their likes.
Yeah.
So like Rodney here gets a ton of likes and a ton of followers. He gets paid with likes, but you're actually sending little mini transactions. By the way, Clear can transact within 3 seconds all the time. That's
Wow.
huge. That's huge.
Very huge.
And at 1,000th of a cent, and it can convert into almost any asset in the world.